We all know that I love a good build challenge, and The Sims just released an official one, like an official Sims shell challenge. It's actually a little bit scary. It's a shell challenge, but it's like literally just a plumb bob. They are being a little bit lenient with the rules, it seems like. Usually in a shell challenge, I don't let you add any walls, but with this one, you can. You're allowed to add walls to this, you just can't remove any of the original ones. So of course, we have to try this one. The Sims team is actually offering prizes for this. They're gonna pick 10 winners and give them each an expansion pack. So obviously I'm not gonna like actually enter, I just wanna do it for fun. But if you want to, I'm gonna link this tweet down below so you can read about how it works. Oh my god, it is like so much bigger than I was expecting. So the rules of these shell challenges are pretty simple. The whole point of a shell challenge is that the shell has to stay the same, so we can't change any of these existing walls. Like these 4 walls down here must remain, but we can add additional walls into it. They also said that you can change these half walls into real walls or fences. I think I might keep them as half walls, but I'll see how it goes. And like I had mentioned, normally when I do shell challenges, I don't let people add walls to the exterior, but the Sims team is letting us this time, which helps because this shape is very weird. They didn't say anything about the stairs in the rules, so I'm just gonna delete those because it's kind of throwing me off. I also want to raise this up and keep it as like a roof. I think I want this main part to be like very visible in the final shell. I want to like really embrace the plumb bob. Like I'd even paint the whole thing green or something. I realize this might look a little bit weird, but I'm thinking I might add in like some extra wood texture or brick in some places to try and give it more dimension. I just really want to embrace the plumb bob, okay? Also, I have no idea how we're gonna do a floor plan on this. Like, what are you supposed to do with these corners? I guess make it into a bathroom or something, but like, it's so small and it's so pointy. Okay, I'm wondering if I can try and add like an overhang or something. I guess I basically want to do something like this. I probably should do it with walls though, so it's easier to put the platforms. Oh no, okay. Basically, I want there to be a platform like in this area. Is that even a room? Oh my god. There we go. Okay, I want there to be a platform right here, and then I delete the walls again. Maybe I'll make the whole thing a little bit taller. I think I might do it like this. I'm wondering if I should like totally close that off instead. Maybe if I made it a little bit smaller so you can still see the green everywhere, or bigger. I don't know. This is like so weird. I was sort of envisioning like tying in some wood with the green and making it kind of like an eco looking home or something. I guess I just don't really know like what to do. Like we need to figure out where the front door is gonna go. Also, I can't delete this wall. Like this wall has to remain. That sort of complicates things. Do you think it would be better if I had this come off on a diagonal instead? Or is that like worse? I'm not really sure. Okay, I have an idea. I'm kind of trying to do this like overhang thing, because then maybe the front door could go like in there. I am feeling a little bit unsure about this. Should I make it like medium wall height? Maybe it being taller would be better. I wonder if we put like a side yard over here or something. I don't really know if that helps or not, but like maybe that sort of helps to solve the weird shape problem. Does this help? Like, does that give it some dimension, or is that just weird? Oh, okay. Should I put the windows in there? Like inside of that little bump out thing? Because that might be kind of cool. And then maybe this part could be the front door, because that sort of, well, it's not an ideal spot for a front door, but maybe that makes better use of this weird corner. Okay, so I can't even put it there. It doesn't let me. Okay, I can if I scoot it over. I don't really like that door, so I don't want to use it. There are some nice door options. Like this one might be kind of cool. I like the colors of it. How does that look? I mean, look, that's really not ideal. The placement of this door is not so good. Honestly, filled in that weird corner just because it's so weird. Like, what am I to do with that? It feels less pointy this way, and I think that's better. I also kind of want to get like a slight rooftop or something. I don't really know where to put it. I'm wondering if I should put it like back here. I know this is like such a weird shape. Like it makes no sense. Oh, and there's a hole in the floor, so that's cool. Look at it clipping. Scary. Oh my god. I forgot it's a diagonal. I thought it'd be fun to have like a room on top of the building, but I can't put it there because it's diagonal. So maybe I could do it here. This is so weird. You know what? I am doing a lot worse at this than I thought I would as well. I came into this like really confident. I shouldn't have been. I'm gonna scoot it over one. Do we enclose this as part of the backyard too? I hate that part. The way that looks is really upsetting to me. And I guess I should probably make it wood because we're trying to do this like wood accent thing. We do have like a slightly cooler fence, but I don't know if that's too much or not. I'm really trying to make this look less bad. Like I'm really trying to have this be like, I don't know, more interesting and like cooler looking and sort of give myself like more detail with the architecture. So I'm kind of trying to make like better spots to put the windows. It almost looks like a bird. Like maybe this is the head and it's got wings or something. Oh my gosh, wait, we could do this like trellis ladder. I think that would actually be perfect. And then we could just get like the regular trellis pieces and sort of add those on like as a decorative thing, because maybe that helps it blend in a little bit better. How ugly is that fence? Oh no, that's a little bit ugly. Maybe I could do glass. Maybe glass would be better. The glass is kind of cool, maybe. It's just like not that cute, you know? It's not like my best work. Before I try and put any more windows, I might try and figure out what this floor plan is gonna be. So I can't delete these walls. We have to keep the walls where they are, which makes me think that maybe it would be good to have these be bedrooms. Like I kind of added on extra bedrooms or something. And I guess, oh no. Oh no. Really? Okay. So maybe that could be like a bathroom or something. I guess this is kind of like a nice little hallway entry space. And then we've got these little bathrooms. I don't know how big to make it. I also know that we're gonna need to have the kitchen be on like a straight wall. So it's probably in our best interest to try and like give ourselves a corner that can become the kitchen. So maybe this won't work. And maybe it could just be like this. That makes the kitchen a little small. Or wait. Maybe the kitchen could go on this back wall. Or is that better for like the living room? I don't know. Maybe I could give it like a little column or something so that I've got more space for counters. I guess I just don't want to have like the door into this bedroom be like right next to the kitchen cabinets, which is silly of me. So I'm kind of trying to make like space for it, but whatever. I want green. I want it to be kind of like a lime green, because when else can you use these? You know, like realistically, when else do you get to have lime green counters if not in a build that's shaped like a plumb bob? So I'm gonna do it. Maybe I'll do it like that, because that's not so bad. Idea, oh my gosh, that could probably be a little half bathroom right there. And then it sort of gives us like some separation into this living room area. There's almost like a hallway, and that could be like a little 3x1 bathroom or something. I could even do like some little windows there. That looks terrible from the outside. Oh no. We could do like little tiny windows there like that. And this could just have like a toilet and a sink basically. Okay, and then maybe this could be like an ensuite bathroom for this bedroom. I could probably even make it a little bit bigger if I wanted to. I don't really like the ladder thing. I know I tried, but I'm not sure I love it. Oh, I can't do this how I want to. It's like slightly not big enough. And the lot is full, so is it kind of weird to have it be like up against the wall like that? It might be. What if I made it smaller again? What if we did it something like this? We'll make it wooden, we'll add in like the little railing. I don't like the glass railing. I think the glass is bad. Hang on, let's try something else. I mean, this one's just like simple black metal, which maybe would be okay. It's a little bit more subtle. I mean, we could also just have no railing, or we could do like a short half wall or something. Actually, the short half wall might be the best bet, because then it like looks like the rest of the house, but it's like, okay, I think I like that better from the front. It's not terrible. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's not like awful. Maybe this could be grass. It could be like a grassy rooftop. Okay, you know what? This might work. And then once we get some trees and stuff placed, like we can put a tree right in the front or something just to kind of hide some of the weird stuff that's going on. I guess that's clipping a little bit with the roof, but no, those look bad. I don't know what trees to use. I do like this one. I'm kind of trying to use it to block the corner. You've probably noticed, but I'm trying to hide the weird corner so it doesn't look as pointy anymore. I really like the idea of trying to do some sort of like custom path with these things, but I'm not 100% sure how to like end the path. Like, I don't really know how to make it line up with the street again, aside from just like dragging it out. I don't really know. Do you think if I like dragged it out and then had it do some overlap, is that like okay? Oh, look, this could be kind of cool. We could have like a lot of green, basically. Maybe not a lot of flowers, but a lot of green, like bushes and stuff as the landscaping. Because I feel like these little fern things look kind of cool. I just think it looks very like lush almost. You know what? The landscaping really helps. Once we get a few more trees and things in, I feel like it's gonna start coming together. Should we put like an oak tree, or is that weird? It's big, and big is good because big kind of hides how pointy it is. Wait, that kind of blocks a lot. Oh no. Oh no. That does kind of block a lot of the pointiness though. Oh dear, that's clipping. Oh my god. It's a good thing I've got this like cube, this cube of nothingness that I can push it into. But that I think kind of blocks this part. You know what? I bet we could have the mailbox on the wall here just to have like some more shape. Or maybe it would be better to have the mailbox out because that gives like something else to look at in the yard. I think I like that over here. Let's put it like right there. What if we put like one of these vertical garden things by the front door? I guess I like the idea of plants in there, and I like the idea of there being like something else to look at, and also it being tall. Like, do the plants in there look good or silly? I think it looks good. I think it's cool. I don't really know like what angle you're supposed to look at this house. This whole thing is like a very, very weird looking house. I also don't know what texture to put on the roof. I wonder if we made like the whole thing a grass roof. Maybe we could do grass roof and then this part won't be grass. This part could even be wood, like a deck or something. Oh, you know what? I don't hate how the wood looks, just in general. Oh, no, I do. Maybe I'll try it with grass. We can also try and put like some solar panels and things up here. One, because they're green, so it looks cool. But also because it makes like something else to look at up there and it won't just be like a big flat plain roof. Should I like alt place these closer together so that they're all touching? Sort of like that. I think that's good. This is so weird. What I'm trying to build right now is like actually so weird. Okay, well, I wanted this to be like a bit of a side yard sort of thing. And I guess I figured I might put like a garden back here. I'm feeling like it makes the most sense to like fill in this corner with plants because it's kind of a weird triangle. Oh, should we do trees like this? I could probably put those in a couple places. I don't think that's bad. I think that's kind of cool. And then I was sort of imagining that we would fill this all in with like a little bit of paving or something, and then just like fill this up with little planter boxes. It's definitely a bit on the small side. I kind of thought it was wider. When I say like fill it up with planter boxes, we aren't going to be able to fit very many of them, it seems, but we could try. I'm not sure if I want to use vertical ones or not. Okay, I think we can fit like 3 of those big ones right here, and then maybe like a handful of the little round ones sort of placed around in corners where they fit. That seems like a pretty good use of the space to me. I realize now that I forgot to put a door to this backyard. There's not currently a door to this back patio, so that's really good. And this is a bathroom, so I don't really want the door there. All of the sliding glass doors are too small. None of them fit properly. What if it wasn't fenced in? Okay, and then there's maybe a gate from back here that would take you around, and that's how you get upstairs. I'm not sure how close to the stairs I can put these little bushes because I don't want to make it so that you can't access them. I'm sort of liking how this looks though, and then I can do like a path from over here. I can do like a kind of cool windy path that sort of like takes you around. Something like this maybe. Sometimes it takes me a few tries to get it to like not look bad, but if I could offer any advice when it comes to trying to draw these windy paths, genuinely just do it once, delete it, do it again, just keep like doing and undoing until you find one that looks all right. That's how I've had the most luck with getting it to look good. Maybe I could put another big tree just kind of in the back, like in the corner or something, just to fill in the lot. I am liking the outside of this so much more than I thought I would. I'll probably put a trash can right there where it's easily accessible, and then up here, because I don't have a real like back patio space, I guess this rooftop could be kind of cool to put like a table and a grill on. Oh my gosh, we could do like lounge chairs up here too. There's so much space, we can kind of do anything. I do really like the idea of lounge chairs though. This table has a lime green swatch. It's not a very good lime green swatch, but it is green. It's kind of different than the other greens that we have, so maybe I won't use it. I'm trying to sneak some plants up here to make it feel very lively. There's a lot of options. I'm just not really sure which ones I want to use. Oh my god, wait. Why didn't I use this downstairs instead? This would be way better. This is gonna look way better than just like the 2 little plants. I like the 2 little plants, okay? I really do. But come on, you can't compete with that. Should I stick them back here? I mean, that would fit over here if we wanted to have like a little bit more decoration or something. I'm embarrassed that I forgot about that item because that looks way better. Oh, look at this. Because that hedge is like the exact right height, and that makes this upstairs area look so much nicer. I might do that. I feel like it really makes it seem cozy up here. I feel like the outside could honestly be done, and now we just have the entire interior to worry about. I really like the idea of the hardwood floors. I think that those look really nice. I'm also a little bit tempted to use this like horrible green tile, but I don't think that I should. It really is like so tempting though, because when else do you get to use that? But we also have things like this that maybe match match the exterior a little bit better. That's like kind of the same color as the walls. You know what? I'm just sort of thinking a little bit right now about like how I want to split this up. I'm wondering if I would be able to put like a slight ensuite bathroom into this part. I hate how it's diagonal because it's so hard to split it up, but maybe we could have 2 ensuite bathrooms instead of like the one little weird tiny one. They're actually really big bathrooms too. I'm not sure if this is like too weird or not, but I might try it anyway. Oh, do we not have the same color beige? Are you serious? Is there really not like a matching yellowy tile that I could use? Should I do gray? I guess the gray kind of matches the blue lines in the middle. I don't really like that tile. I don't think it looks that good. What about that one? Is that okay? That might work. This might be fine. I'm gonna try and give myself at least one little window in each of the bathrooms. Doesn't need to be anything huge, but it's nice to have like something. I think I would also like to have some sort of big windows back here. I guess we could just do 2 really big ones. That makes it really bright inside, which is helpful because there's not a lot of light coming in over here. If I'm being honest, I don't know if I can use this tile. I really want to, but I just think it's so ugly. I think I might just come back to that and do the rest of this first. We can get a really nice, like really big TV in here. I don't really know what sort of fake TV stand to put, but I kind of like that. Currently, I'm looking at everything that is lime green and trying to decide what I want to use as the rug in the living room. This one's cool, but it's a little bit small. I do also kind of like this one. I think that might even work. I guess we can just scoot everything over a tiny bit. I wonder if I could use these weird lights above an island. I don't think I've ever used them in a build ever, but if we're gonna do it, I feel like now is the chance. Like, when else can we fit in that sort of thing? I don't want the door right there. I don't like the door being right there. I wish that I could have like a half counter, but the problem is the weird counter pieces, the end pieces of this are like a triangle, which isn't really what I want, so I'd rather just not use it. How about something like that with some open wood shelving in the kitchen, but also like bright green cabinets everywhere? Maybe I could use white upper cabinets because the green is a bit much. Oh my god. Okay, is it really yellow on all sides? There isn't like a plain wood one. I wonder, does this work? Is this one okay? I kind of like the idea of it. I wonder if I can scoot this over a little. I think I need more wood accents. Oh, how about those? That ties in some of the wood. There's not really like an entrance here. It kind of just like, I don't know, you just come in. There's not like a nice entryway. I do like the idea of adding in some more windows. And they don't really affect how the building looks, I don't think, because when are you gonna look at it from this angle? Probably never. I kind of tried to decorate more of like a proper entryway in this little corner. I put like a mirror and a table and like I stuck some shoes under it so it looks like somebody actually lives here. I'm now trying to decide if I think I should put curtains up, and I think I'm leaning towards yes. I feel like it kind of helps to have something else up on the wall, and then I can continue the curtains all the way into the corner to like fill in the space more, because what else are you gonna put there? It's just like a big empty corner. Curtains are a good way to use it. Okay, and I want to have a few like wood accent walls, but I don't really know where all to put them, so maybe I won't do a few, maybe just like one. Oh my god, if we're gonna use this plumb bob picture in any house, it has to be in this house, right? Like, we have to put the plumb bob in here. I might even use that more than once. I should save that somewhere else so I don't forget about it. We gotta put it like all over the place, right? In the plumb bob house, I am having an extremely difficult time trying to figure out how to paint these walls. I want to have like some accent walls, but obviously I don't want the whole thing to be accent walls, and I'm just really struggling with like what textures go well with everything. I feel like that might work. It's annoying because these white countertops don't really work with this, but I think it looks good everywhere else. Do you dare me to use these like lime green chairs? I've never used them before, and I don't know when I would use them outside of right now. I genuinely kind of like them. They're very much plumb bob, you know? I could probably put a plumb bob painting over here in this weird corner. How about that? That's nice. Maybe the sim could be an artist and they paint like exclusively plumb bob imagery. But this way I could put like a little art corner back here, which will add some more color and also like fill in the weird space. I genuinely like that. I think that's a really good use of the corner. I feel like the living space is done. Now we just gotta worry about the bedrooms and the bathrooms. Okay, so I'm kind of trying to make like a little shower in this weird nook. I don't really know how big to make it, but we have so much space. I can kind of just make it as big as I want. I'm really picking some like random color options. I don't think it's bad. I just don't really know how to use this wallpaper, but I still want to use it. It just looks like this. Oh no. Okay, so we can't have the same style in here because of the fact that I've got the weird diagonal walls. I feel like this room kind of has good space for a tub, so maybe I'll use this little part as like a toilet corner or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll put like some dirty clothes so it looks more lived in. The bathrooms are the hardest part of this entire house for me. It's because of this stupid tile, but I'm gonna keep it. At this point, I feel like I have to, but it's just ugly. Unfortunately, none of the lime greens match. Like, I really want to use this because it looks so cool, but it doesn't match. I'm not even sure that we have any green that matches this. I don't think that it exists. Maybe I can just use like a random one and we just embrace it or something. So I did this in what I'm kind of guessing is gonna be like a teen's bedroom. And here's how I furnished that primary bedroom. I don't really know if I like it or not, but I think it looks good with the rest of the house. And it really is green. Everything is like really, really green. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure if this was like worse or better than I was expecting. I'm putting it up on the gallery, but I'm not gonna use like the official hashtag or anything. I was just here to do this for fun. And I think it was fun. It wasn't terrible. I think that the plumb bob part maybe is worse than they anticipated. It's just because of the diagonal walls. They're really, really hard to work with in the game. And like these points at the ends are really tough to figure out like what to do with. But I feel like we managed, and I think that the color scheme of the exterior is kind of cool. I like how it's eco. I like the rooftop. The inside is kind of silly. I definitely used a lot more green than I normally would, but I really leaned into the whole plumb bob thing, obviously, and it was fun. I'm curious if any of you have done this shell. They posted it a few days ago, so I think a few of you might. And if you wanted to try, it's hashtag spark something on the gallery. It's worth giving a shot, but like keep in mind it's a giant diamond, so it's not easy. I do think that I have made worse shell challenges myself, which maybe is reassuring, but I wish you all luck on your little plumb bob shell attempts. And I think on that note, I'm gonna end this video right here. Thank you for watching. Have the best rest of your day, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. You know, I'm sat here staring at the top-down view, and it really does look like a bird. It looks like a little diamond-shaped bird with wings.